Last week we went through the topic red flags in relationship. Now we read a preamble story and a story of a case study. Na yehun say abrantie ba koni ababawa ba kwa mu na yehun say abrantie ba koni ababawa ba kwa mu siso mo hwe se ombe hyehyɛ so maware nanso na enye nru ba bia hwe se ombe hyehyɛ so maware nanso na enye nru ba bia afedu ba bia na tade obehye kura abrantie say oh fresh girl like this the atade say the nkanya mawo utimi funny phone no go through the messages without any permit na ade no afede ekodu ba bi na ade no amene no but ohunu se o eyodo saa wanka ho asem a ko si se afede awa okay bia e fine na so ababa we nso de onim se abrantie no a one ne tu anamo no
sorry dear abro mi so abro mi so Sana nipatie why ni dwanto ano ye kan yo edie kra na menye
onua abrabomu ehu asoche anase emu adane ebunka woso anase ususu se wapem ana wadwunu mu ye wo kesene etoda abrabomu asembi se ya na ebisa ne se edien na menye abrabomu asembi se ya na ebisa ne se edien na menye enunti ena Pent Radio 100.1 ene asokwa area counseling ministry Church of Pentecost ashishe dwumadie nwanwaso kra watu ni din se edien ena menye eye futuo dwumadie a ebe boawo ama wetimi aka wakome mu nsem abra fewu boawo ama wetimi aka wakome mu nsem abra fewu bia enimu enunti Jebre ne hia mpanyimfo ne animdefo yi eye yawo da bia
ebra abo enwumre no nan empemu ekosi nonum ewo ye kofie dwumadie so abra nana menu atenase
edien na menye ewo Pent Radio 100.1 megahertz.
Right, eno na red flags in relationship. Last week Ebisa said red flags in relationship dean. Na yabidwa for ma yeti ase se eye ne ye eni suban binumu a efa nipa na one no etu aware anamo anase mo study mo ho na akwakọ wie aware no suban ni ne ye bi a nipa ne da na di a eni kwan se bu ani eguso ene friend red flags suban bi ne ye bi a ehia se mo ye intentional na mo ka ho asem eno ene friend no say red flags na yedidi mu ene ye behwe na yato so from question 2 say na be ya yebenya background ye or say in the story on say last week kind story about Abna and Kufi asetna senior started here and be a kuwie. Now from that story, no, Abna ignored comments about her clothes and phone checks because they seem minor. What are 2 to 3 or small red flags you see couples excuse most often, and what is the long-term effect they carry those into marriage? Enti onsa banani Kufi di NSM say otimi family phone kra na ohwe so hwan na frɛ wo ne ade messages no go through without omisa me hwe me nso me nya ne yere na onye me kunu ewu mu sɛ yitu anamo de ba yenuru ho ba ne nyina hu sɛ o ɛyɛ minor things afi omu ko wura mu wie na afi otun sɛ and omu nya wura mu but omu preparation akɔ anim they are in an advanced stage but enya me ya ware at this stage no na Kufi eye obi ana ne family Abena family no hunu se o oye gentleman but Abena otene gya ho ne de onim se Kufi wo suban bi wonimu a ase nhyeso like be possess as or possess taking possession of her like be anti we are no ko rawari mu ana Kufi agage no na wontumi enkyere na adwen ne ade ena dan na adwendwena agya okusiki eye advice e de afa ho enti Sena bedika bo hwamane no Elder Evans Bafo atenase sanso ena sof maame Sarah nyakwachirim enso atnasia ye ba abe pensem no mu na last week ye be phone lines no ye hwese nenso ye betima bon tel na at least in afa ba 3 calls bi na last week amafo ka o masem pa obi kire se wantwa so ntem a odi wo nkwa betwa so ende me kai pa se kola ba ko ka se nyama ni bi wo ho a wanhwe na wantwa so ntem a rem odi wo nkwa agotwa so na ejara no wahye otun se red flags bi amafo I ignore bi no ma foto akoto om kwam om pese foto obeto kwam enti ene ya bidi hunkomo eda bafo Evans atunase ma Sarah mami komo ma eradido meso me hoye pa ya behye ye nkomo na ase eda bafo ona last week na wa ha nam say last week ye kire what red flags are emu ya brain enti ye sanko ho biu na obitima my rundown kakra de okai I can was last week because say share question basis say people often we often mistake possessiveness, constant checking and jealousy for love early in the courtship. Where do you draw the line between genuine care and controlling behavior? We looked at that. And a second, yes, I hear say in the story, no, where the phone checks, no, abna ehun say sadia na kufi no e minor antinanka nye bibia, but when the relationship advanced, and I say, even though the family the omu say bibia nothing is wrong, but now she realized my rundown kakra de okay for red flags in relationship so far what we discussed last week.
Oh, me da say, and I church for sunyina. Last week, they say, be basa. Adie bia ebeti mama ono yankopon tema ye basa. Adie bia so a ebe bu nipa no animtia. Ebe yi o self esteem. What me can say senior hu no. You come to belittle yourself.
Afede o sha se bu hu abomfia. E ma wo sha se bu hu abomfia. Okay.
And I say adie ebeti me akum. Sa enyema miensa we no. Etoto wo relationship ma who say a red flag.
Okay.
And yes AC say red flags no to the boy de my say ye be accept say ade ye nipa kro ye betimi adua akowie baby efri say ebi wa ne ye ka say ohu kodi mu a ya na akoye ensem bebre and I say obu also a de enkofo kenti busia
person. There's nothing wrong because as far as we are concerned, who could say or a gentle person, but na abna no so no ehunisa or say abna's family sees Kofi as a perfect person on paper. So how should someone weigh outside approval against their own gut feeling when something feels off, especially when marriage is already being planned? Especially when marriage is already being planned. So when marriage is being planned, I gather information in here day. At this stage, you know, how do we deal with such situation, Eda?
First of all, they can I say, parents and I say, yeah, one change, ye nim nipa kono senior, who nim no. It's ye de nipa kono show near yehu, but who nipa kono and auntie, ube hunis baby, actually. Eti se koba se wo husuba bi anya eno de eyesa na hu eyesa wo na hu ye wo nche na age se bi a ye nim ni wo ba bi
okay
ene ebetuma ka se akwa de ni suban you a de nanti but wo a wo date ni pakọ no una wo nim ni pakọ no su enti se koba se ni suban emwa kwa ware ma se na last week ye te ye no oni omontena se oni omonni nkomo ese me na me kwa aware but nipa ko say ni no te me nyini se be boa me so parents enti I said there bia if they still think that sometimes boa na bia be man sika won nsɛmti omugiri so na ebe boa abusua no also say there bi enti na I say chinchina
the friction bia beto oni
oni nipa ko na asɛm o ye ba benum koku ye ba be didi ye wi a de be si wa ware bi enfa ye ho Uma me no papa no cry and form ho because omuna beja ho
Pent radio
so take that decision, that critical decision e ye wo na gina so enti say akodru say wa hwa emmoa wa enya nya aware ne o ho kwan say obetimi atwe ho
yo Eda Evans mami course of mami or Masara or say how will you outweigh outside approval? Now the outside approval no ebetimi say oh say your bra weed one kasa will instinct your inner feelings about the person.
As of Medasi, to make us outside gentility.
Home cry.
Outside gentility, home cry. Our Rihanna walk on one kasa, son and el there can. Sir, a jano, on our cotton. I don't know be interpreted, say, where the idea so. I throw near dodo, so you don't know. I throw, you don't know. And she said, "And I can red flag on myself. Our Rihanna, who communal, who me and I'm more cotton.
Okay.
For better, for worse. And our Rihanna,
Pent radio.
Through courtship, no one's a branch any obia or your Jerios. Almost a phone message about. No, I shall see a prep and a wine crown afro. Wine crown afro. O friend, only winning come up. On funny dear new boom. You grab a beer now of one in no. Or to meet tenant and sub bow. I go who said, oh, bow. Men fed the agro.
Okay.
I am uncle for us, oh, nipper way, dear. Oh, you're nice. Yeah, me were experience. Make I say, do some about worry. Nipper by a 4. But I couldn't home now, no, a bogan. O piano, but fear my parents who say, Sir, bay my way, dear.
On
One February, because can't know them a posh car. Nay, you ruffian man who be and young dear, some mammas, aha. Where dear, Yame, or best I. But Michiano, pressure or dim money panel. Actually, I tell see me who said the enemy. Sana our year ever breaching.
Kai.
But family who is can in near mana or demono. I'm going to say where do I correct me. Now so many on me and number tium them who's our way on Shadan. Into red flag na ye can. And yen you be into Pentecost I show you first and yes I did any bar. Oh people who saw mama. Me bawe me percent me cannot in a mouth. And I said can mammy. Sa kana mama no ye jaye ubekomu no na aduane kora ebia woni enti anya se bia ubem me kese na mahu se nipa we de obem me pa e ba dance dia metime di ni watema kame mama no enkoyi enti anya se nipa na dress chape opia bontena bia oye beema wa hye ni shoe kama gentility gentleman the case oba sufie na okotokoto but a cow ni mienu a abrabɔ ne suban na edadu saa na mo mienu mo kɔhye dan ni mu kɔhye fie hɔ a ɔde bɛyɛ
Okay.
nti anya de sɛ ne temperament ayi a ɔnya nyɛ na adwen so ɔyɛ dan
Bejai.
nipa de ya kura banyami mu obegyina platform so na ɔyɛ ade a because nipa we de onimu nyame sɛ na yɛtaa ka sɛ ne nsuma yɛ mu no abrabɔ de na di no aya na ɛno ɛyɛ hu enti men tena ho wo hu ade ne ntantam no men tena ho ka sɛ we die obegyai
Ayana problem li be the advancement of the preparations. Baby at the end of and no na sometimes no ayana decision no taking a very difficult no.
Also for courtship is not marriage.
Ya to toniama. Ayana consent ni bi ni say ya to toniama. Bi di na kofi yehuno sa niama no that kind of, especially when marriage is being planned. That means 3 months away from adieno. Let's just say a lot of things have gone in a kakakra bem any ade. A hono na ma decision no say we reverse ya na be difficult no. So as counselor no then I will be fa obi o what's situation no.
Also for obi say me kai enso manwe. Me kai enso manya dai manwe.
E kura se makaso manwe.
Me kai enso manwe. We no ye for better for worse. Wo de kwa wie yo. Enye se memfa ne se ba yo wa sabi nti wo kodidim we no wo de kwatena wo so forever o wo benya nkwa wo beku wani mu a efiri sa ade no enti menka se ya totɔ nneema ya tuto nneɛma wokɔtɔ adeɛ na wo nhyɛ yɛ bi kura de kɔstɔ a owura no ɔbɛgye ɛde amu enti mɛnyɛ w'adwen sɛ makɔtotɔ me nneɛma yɛaduru bi a baabi a hɔnom yɛ very ayi a aka kakra bi ma wofoɔ nyinaa ehu
asɔrefoɔ kora ehu
wei ehu sɛ ɛkɔduru baabi a adeɛ no waa ɔbaa no anaa bɛrima no wɔn sɛ adeɛ wei deɛ mede me ti kɔ wura mu a ɛmmoa mmea wɔhu a nsa na mede kankan no wɔkɔtɔ kawa no wɔ nneɛma a wobɛtumi de akɔ because saa suban no woyɛ w'adwen sɛ mebu m'ani agu so me wokɔware koraa ayɛ ana asɔfo no taa bisa yi na yɛadwen ɛmma so
okay
ɔtumi bisa wo sɛ mɔkɔkɔduru koraa yɛka mu abɔ mu ɔmotumi bisa sɛ enti biribiaa nni hɔ sɛ ɛsi mu kwan mu nim sɛ
mu bi ɛnim biribi a enti ɛnni kwan sɛ
yɛka mu bɔ mu a
amanfoɔ sɛ saa question no ɛho nhyɛ da nhia because sɛ nka nipa no ɔnyɛ yi a yɛakɔ fie koraa kɔyɛ fie de awie aba bɛgyina nti nipa no nka ɔnyɛ n'adwen sɛ ɔmbɛyɛ yi anka ɔmo mma bɛgyina hɔ nti saa berɛ ɔma bɛgyina hɔ deɛ nka saa question no koraa no anka bɛyɛ ankasɛfoɔ no koraa nya bisa
ɛno no na nipa adwene ba so sɛ ɛyɛ nnamu asɛm but ɛnyɛ nnamu asɛm nko a mo mmienu a monam no moanante ansa na mohyia mu sɛ awarefoɔ monam no bɛrima no ebia owie adeɛ meka sɛ nkɔmmɔdiem no ɔte ne nsa pɛ sɛ ɔde bɔ ɔsom wo ne obi di nkɔmmɔ a hwan na afrɛ wo no ɔbɛkyɛke wo phone so no saa hu sɛ biribi wɔ hɔ enti mengyina asɔfofoɔ no anim ka sɛ menim biribi a ɛsiw me sɛ yɛka me ne kwabra ne akua ɛbom menwu a mo anso munim biribi nti adeɛ no a munim a mode ahyɛ mo ho no wokɔ daa mu a ɛbɛpie nti yɛbisa saa asɛm na ɛnyɛ about only sex but yɛpɛ sɛ hu sɛ mo mmienu a mona no moyɛ partner mobɛtumi atena forever biribiaa ni hɔ a kyɛ sɛ ɔbaa no obi bɛka sɛ ɛsɛ onipa nni mmerɛ yɛ ana yɛwɔ mmerɛ na adeɛ no da biara ɛyɛ constant nipa no wone ne hyia wantu na ɔto ne nsa bɔ wɔ som wohyia wantu na ɔto ne nsa bɔ wɔ som a ɔware a ɔbɛbo
ɛno no ɛyɛ physical evidence. There are instances where Usha Abnadi ya pair the storyline of the Maya ya kind last week. And I say, Adia Emma no Ankasano, who saw Sumbo. I say indirectly or Gargano, Kakra.
My emotions in marriage. I dear back here with pie communication.
Mampacho, be a microphone Kakrama.
I dear here with marriage in pie, it's in Puama Warian. It's in a query a communication.
Nkomobo.
Our Arabia communication any moon, our Arian engineer ye him. And to be man, make us a friend is up as only didn't come. O friend was hey, Fatuso. And then Minya ready mouth. And only emotions because mutu anamon.
Okay.
Matu told him, and even our Ariano Kramuram communication in a bachelor say, may you will but fear for 19 way bra. Me kunu ni shoe size saying aduane ben na me kunu epe nti mu ya cautious no saa de ni nyina na ese se oba no hu firi be ma no na obe ma no nso hu firi oba no enye se se bio se mo ware wie na wo bedu fie na pantalon na oba edi aba asembe na abeka nti se wo ba cancel kwa asa na ma na ya eta bi se ukuru the best food saying ukuru e bia ne mpapo saying say na ebia ye drew Valentine Day ni sa day na at least we betima surprise no nti ni nyina sha communication ni
okay
nti so oba ni se ye ni nkomo so I don't have time for you and me ni bere the mouth oh my busy oh asuma si frem de na chesa aware no so onya ko wura mu a enya ade so obenya bere no waye den
e be sa
edi nkomo obi also member wura sunsun nti me de da bia me kan me Bible sa onipa we oba no odi ne kofie hwan na oni ne nkodi nkomo na no na koba sa ba say ni emotions ni atofem oni obi ani nkomo nti ba say na oba no wa moa ono nko a ho no ma wa moa nti abra de ya wo kan abra da bi ade na ekoso ontimi nka because adura ni ni nti mo ma ye hu red flag lententama e boye na yetimi yen fa yen san ko soja e jana tumi ayeden
etimi ahye so for me sara nya kwa chirem na wote ne nka no edabafo amanfo bebre nso gidi se ye ware a obesesa safe mi be ye ne dia krakra mi gidi se obesesa ana metumi asesa no from your experience as a counselor and yes, as a counselor, no, do you think say a bit say boundary, violation, any emotional manipulation, this animal, does it improve after our year, and does it get worse?
Okay. Last week, I think say Mrs. Linda
Bedu,
say marriage mirrors your behavior.
It maximizes,
magnifies.
It magnifies
your behavior.
Your behavior.
So warrior, ana usuban pa ededi.
Okay.
The entire tesane say me warrior me new oba we nkwan ete. Eti me bibia me bibia.
Okay.
Enti ebuo kra na first no and I say that restrictions be her me de be man no say ni hobi. Eti my rare identity is shown. Eti afen no so be na say sa na what here. Eti that is when it magnifies. And just na mente sa o sa na mente but no
nya hu.
Enti say yes sha say na me ma a shadow of the better things to come. You should know say shadow cran you. It's the better things you should. It's a sha say na say bema no o kasa na o tiatian. Nipa mu no o ka asema ebema aya wo ya. Or like to be say who the bema create me catch the uncle ba or nene say we do about we do nimiansa. Nimiansa ba me ana manage ne kakra. Utimi kasa asem we trobana. Say yeah kasa asem we actual during dating time. Be sure say our re ne ba unye nyansa ni bi ama no
respect no emma
eti omanim obeka cho so nimiansa and because on ware wo na all say be me pe oba even be me pe oba senior brand ho ase ne different from when you we amon de na senior ye na sa na be me bi ate
okay
be ma pe oba or we obeko onyanya we so we obeko and that is the nature of bema.
Okay.
It onyanya we that is when the true eti I think say as ye nyina ye kan ohun at the beginning stage you say the one bia it will magnify it to say onam na ebo awura oshu now say me de beko e de beko me nyi bo no de beko so 92 kilometers ne o sha se be once na ebo asha oshu na o se unyi o de beko a wa na obeku ena de ntia wa na obeku mu ne say yeah nam na you say bo asha
esha o mpabo
and that's how our rare is like who problem ye hu o say o no kra untimi I just obegina bon take catch wa me ka obi ehu na ni na real kakra obehu ana yes sister you nya hypertension we free you be sabe we yi and dey asori you be abaye we but wow nim say only Yakupon tell one take good decision. And I may give this away Christonia. Every decision that you are taking, Yakupon Casacho.
Okay.
Even if you pray about it or not, Yakupon Casacho. And so we take it any bad decision. A won't or catching Yakupon say, I can endure this.
Okay. Meet Majinano.
Yes. One or catching Yakupon say, it's a maybe actually some befa prayer topics in my end. Because when you can't catch Yankopon, you can endure it. It's Yankopon bema you could home. That is all.
That is all. Inti dia who no aisa pam dada ne pam foforo no foreshadowing. Inti dia who ni no no so my memory also say Abena started apologizing for things she didn't do just to keep peace. So how does constant blame affect a person's mental health and decision making in relationship? On say ebasana toda you are forced to say sorry send be ya asumtwe beba toda kra de no timu say wudi bempa de ani pa yenye but opportunity bu afu de na fe wo na obepa chewa no kra mpo no so be ye kra obeso ache opam kra no kra asem gisene butone ye mo na fe waba so abna de sana koye apologize ya for nyama wanye but say be asumdwe be benti no eniama sa eba sa na how does it go with your mental health going into the relationship?
Yeah, and they who say with depression, the stress, a lot of diseases are nanka person a young man no one take and no it didn't crying make us a money stroke. I dare not be man dear ya brano. Be man dear any the bat copasum dear. Until there be a be patch or patch and interest ne home for din. Sana now kind emotions are saying. If you call only obey money to her, or you're not there with me for dinner, little so or so Christian. How whom you're calling kakran within your soul. In the is it proverb or say numpe or say numpe as a numpa go and as a pitchen. At the area, a brat ye nipeduan. It's a bread pouch challenges and near all yen and yenny. Into obey ya, say a bedroom baby no. Yes, in so tie up on Chirania
or you
so being so one or you'll be an melancholic and as on no yes, melancholic type on Casabe bra or you know Subunium, Yarian or ya day or Tarman. Until a little man was so. The year stroke. The year no depression. Adentia emotions are whom you win in one tefina.
Pent Radio, yes,
Fana drain. I feel no, who won't say no phrase. I really quite so yard and no phrase that's all yard. Oh, yard. And to men yet, I dare now, and who said, I know you did be a departure or parture could see Breben. Who's a son and Subantia run away from your life. Damage or crank. Meant na ho because she do a baby. My men or share say, oh, wait, or ye juma. They man ye juma. No, Motsana one or the warrior. Now, our worry sister, and the baby, no, sister, and men fan is all maybe a 5 years a cancer or battle. Now, you are or show love to children the dog a crack over them. Now, be man, I offer a friend is saying, people and a pen, or about dates. Then I worry about them, may assume or ye say. On what we are near in Chinnebermuno or Bodate at the tour, the European until one crown just our big booker.
Okay, put records of every happening and answer every unpleasant situation be a.
The beer not a problem back a crown. Papa, Mamma, or Bowie, oh, yen. Oh, are they? Was me worry just a date in this is so.
Yeah, what cover book all my records no.
Just one my records. Yes, now one records cry and
wow.
Who come first Corinthians 13 or say love does not keep records. Be man shed that just a book no song. Ni obey bia or ban sorry no injury and pa. Also for
no actually.
And some oh.
There is a ochina when yadia in so edia.
Most me here ya walk for book no baby. Enti nipa we no okwa we hu se ne ote ansa na akwa ware. Enti we no abrade no obepa achewa o pa achewa kosi aware enso sidi. Because that crop be ya wade a wo ye nipa o. Wo ye nipa
taking the blame always.
Oh. That crop no ano no bon sa aware no nya de say bejin. Enti hu ni ntantama. But modern say obetwe ho afiri. Afi we frase say o to anamon fufu.
Okay. Yeah, say Ada Bram Kakra self blame. What dangers does he pose to the relationship, its current state? And say beba be ya ware krakra no, because yeah share we know at the stage pesi room self blame no mitimu say obi on ma opa ne chew kra na se be kra be gi atum no so o de mate but no ne wa yaka o be frɛ no a omfa gi se ne boato ne yamansa to dan so a se ohu se wa ono wa anye ne yie de ye no ono a hu se wa anye ne yie a na e wo se opa wo chew a ene enu nti obepetu a na fe de wakofa o de dada bi kra na no de be se ne be ya da bia obema wo feel guilty se ne be ya ono no ebe ye se ne ono na ne de no eneye nti se be ya asomdwe beba nti then you apologize, then you move on. Such situation is it a red flag, and how do we deal with it?
Okay.
So for mommy, I cannot do that.
The last week we can say, we do a red flag amount, and red flag man.
Mommy,
but who are who come? One hour here, me say me to me power show the biasa, me yahu. That is it. It me hena be ha ma adwene be ha me mental
psyche.
I have to back off.
Okay.
Obo also a okotokoto no so chance say odo. But the person make can say oh ni obi wo into relationship na o self-worth no is
Pent
honor.
Radio. Yes,
It is the most, I think say it is the most unpalatable thing in the relationship, because o self-worth a kofoma untimi develop it
Personally. Ultimate grow. Okay.
Anna, a patch say, oh yeah, tamed to the person. Anna, what's I cage to the the goals of the person. Why won't she then new argument? Why won't she then need purpose for life? Why won't me take a decision be because or self-worth a conform. And so I think say be away be a self-worth a conform there. Don't entertain it. Don't entertain it, crowd. Because one, Jesus said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Into unye who send you obey me adore ho a den class obey me adobe.
Okay.
It one or self-worth why won't me and no who emma unye happy with yourself. Won't me show or don't mobi. And it a basse only be relationship now or self-worth for ma and your donna will show a kind of empathy. And I say like you are
as a
containing the situation.
You are accommodating
that is it
the person.
It's and as mommy said no. Accommodate one day it will overcome the room a bit pie. You can't accommodate it will be worrying panel. What 25 years over worrying panel not be over 3 years be 80 years over worrying panel be 55 years when in the corner better accommodating is it is not possible.
We are on a stretch limit.
It was a worry awo amane man you know ba fe no be jaware because na crying tin na meti aware ni what ne man you ni ma free obo so one ne kunu jai ana obo also ne man you mu free obo so no agya ne kunu akosa ne ba ho obeta no ba no so sa because on person because
ba fie
because on be man wo ho no na ye niam bi wo ho ampe but crying tin no endure
Memfa we mean twa no memfa we enka ho na to aso so for me aka no ho SMB. There is a belief say once ya share wedding no ho preparation and aware no ho ahomboabo no ase akọ animu akọ akoduru de untimi enka so back off because ya na ya nim guase enya wo nko a eka busua no eka sorry community crowd no be kan fa ho ene ade e free ho kọ no ono achi no ahwe a bia your future chances crowd bia na enya implications on it. The question here is there ever a point where staying becomes more damaging than leaving? A point where say we stay in it rather than become more destructive and damaging than say we back off.
There is always a point like that when you see red flags that you can contain.
Okay.
Wow, go now. We can say society ni be can say ya. Yen fan so worry we na worry day na worry na ye be catch us say na so my maker say na sa na be man worry abrochi it ohun science no and so on the on fan be worry on the wedding day na yere mo na yere efri abrochi ba say what will you do on that wedding day? What will you do on that wedding day?
Pent Radio. Yes.
Say no no uja elia no yanu wase that wedding day na so fu gina obi agina ho no. Wa kofa cameraman na e bi kura wo sa so ye Facebook live. What will you do? You see, bibia every choice has consequences.
Okay.
But make sure say the consequences of the choices will not kill you, will not take anything
precious away from you.
That is it. It wow na who take this decision say metenam. Oh, our and I ten be and you say a wedding. But if you are thinking say Nyankopon ama me say me di be 90 years we say. Oh, me am gi this Nyankopon long life. But Obawe na me ne betena sa 90 years. Can I contain Obawe? Obawe ya ne bufu a ahwe obepai TV. Can I contain obema ne bu ebia afibia ne bu befu am na pai TV metima to TV de bia afibia. If you can do that, that is good for you.
Okay.
But if you can't do it, don't say ebusia for en fa obusani bia nka ahwe o. Wona wo dwene sa. Ye en fa ho. The truth of the matter is society doesn't really care about you.
Okay.
It is you who thinks that they care. But Opa take decisions say Opa ye wadwen say oh yeah idea. Sorry yan say ware. But Opa ko ware obemo obo. Obien ho be abegina mama.
Adisa mumienu.
That is it.
Mumienu. Elder Evans Bafo and our ten and kana tie for e na menye dwumadie no Asokwa Makion worship center and Asokwa area counseling ministry no any Pent radio na kambo medi dwumadie ebesomo ya wada bia wabra no nan abo apemu na ye de esom no so mame mra ho bio obi a wabedu this stage a wakansi minka sa wakansi mu asin say if you etwe no say wama be me ya boka watoto niam we nyina wama sorry kra asebre akọ cancel bi kra mbo ya cancel mpo awie sa asem etimi see anytime ebetima ba say ya cancel no kra wie ya spend 3 months 2 months 1 month ya canceling awie sorry for any tia enti at that time no kwahwe a decision no take here we are so for kra no nipa ba kuma ko bi na bi o bete wase sometimes when the people don't know the details of your reason for taking that decision no be so difficult to take. How do you cancel obia o gina jerambia etesa?
Yeah, as of me that say me cancel be self acceptance.
Okay.
So one kasa no obejo ho atum say ade aye den no metumi agina.
Okay.
Sana na elder ka say society na we twa we share community na wo mu ne de enye omo na mo kware ama wo wo na wo kwotena wo de ameka ise matena case bi ayi for counseling na be man no owo tema na oba no wo babia na me wo edu ba bi no baba wa ne kire na de kama ye from hwe sane asetena ne sane abrante na brabo sister counseling is not advice but we die wa kohwe ne obetumi aye oh na ya toto omo ntuma ne omo ne manyina awie
okay
ye hu sane ade ne tie no amaso
meba o se ade na mo ka kire na motoma no
ya ka kire ne say counseling there is not an advice
okay ya nsijina ma sebia ko ana me
na per counseling processes na abrante no nsama o kaba ne wo so de na wo kaba no mo amkotena ho na mo nwene ho oba no kwotena o se mama ne amobie ye ne ama ya bedri ne ne ekwe no me ametena ade ne ho a emmoa me afena nkrofo ahase bisa na se ne kan sa asumasi bewale o
ya announce was sorry ana presbytery
se asumasi bewale o na eye den na so mama yemfa nyempa ibonya den emmoa wo se nyame beka wo abom enti edru ba bi a yen as counselors no ma yen hye ye ma no yen kan say chenchina chi say onfa ni tiri nkonkwo ye dan enkonkwo urem na elder ka say be say ahweli wey obi anani ha bia yusu ahwehwani wa na so bia me de ma you cannot use
it
to read obi wa hono ma so no oware na ni kunu bo na no hu se ni kunu do no enti wuntimi nkofo say we red flag
emfa ma say ni pa no
because ni kunu amoda ono no
that's over there
obere to amu no amu na ni hunto no like ono ho obe ya dia obe no
but
obuno na pa na chewa ha oba wa to chocolate abren don't have
doves for be come after you
ono nko ho wa nko
obi so ne kunu tia no woni pama no hu se odo no ye den ewo nti se na ye ka no spectacle no obi a obi ye nyina ye ne ya but me de na me le show de no wo de hwe me die ma nya saa nete nti ye hwe red flag na se na wo kan se na abena patch e bia na abena opa ohun so opa ne kunu achawa na ne do ne ba but sente sa pa de na da bia be ma na mo ye courtship no to so obu odi wata ohia woni pa mu a onfa buo ma na no na me ka na ba bi se wo ye warefo ana se wo ye yi na se ni oba na wo ware no se nipa a wetwa ho ahia mfa buo ma na emfa buo emma na wo nso so ye mfa buo ma the same applies to the husband enti ukodidi wo yira tam e obadwama wo be ma na nkasa no nso wo lose respect enti so oba akwetena mo se mo ye courtship no odi watam oye we na so enye hwe se na American se ya odo dia ne dia obetumi atenam da bia na obo wa no be kese ye bisa wa na so ntontom na aka wa no ene dia obetumi aka
era wa fosere
da bia kwa da bia ntontom ka ma wa no ho no hwea na ye hwe na so ene na apa eya wa wasem
ene ya wa wasem ya brena so na mami share just 2 minutes me dey bisa question ya nyeyi question no kire say sometimes nipa no mienu na omo ba be ware na they don't discuss the red flags no mo hwe han na fi abedane crisis e dey ama wo mo yehu say enkrofo bi court no mo ba be ye as counselors there na was ye what advice now say how should we switch our counseling to ensure say sanya matisa at least nipa no betima support you bo untimi po identify say de no way a red flag until so be wura mu a untimi answer in just about 30 seconds each mamisha as a free elder hona mpe wi papa mama hona yenko
okay say mostly counseling no counseling and anamaka is not
among for free but ye brain intimi for course ni bi
but counseling amount informed choices it's a beer when you ma hu nema no watimi atake choices it mostly no our counseling sessions is supposed to give more information
okay
it in the normal no as a counseling una obi na anima no hu red flags
okay
no watimi ameki enti ebu high enye se atwen so edru marriage time na answer but wow so nam ho a enema bo ha wo mpe uye nipa ade bi wo ha wo mpe ade a wo mpe no na obi de yewa you have to tell the person say mpe
fa ho adwene ntem
that is it
eda fa o chia fa na fe na emi ko yourself
ma chia Mary Esther and PRWC sorry to ina ne yourself mama ya me sure mu bia
ya me ensure Eda Evans Bafo esom ewo asokwa PRWC ana na otene nka no mama
so for thought na Nkrofo aka say love is blind and so
our
yedi na ekoware enye sabio eni fra na de koware enti nema bi on ma memmu wani nguso enka so love is blind enti ma hu red flag na odo de enye hwe ukowure mu nko ano wan hwe ni ya the problem beba
wan hwe ya the problem beba mama wonchia
yo ya chia ya tie for pa na mama Priscilla yerebi dwumadi no di atiantwie ewu say